Welcome to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're examining a powerful psychological force that influences our decisions and relationships, the tendency to disliking or hating, also known as bias against. This tendency describes our natural inclination to form negative opinions about people, ideas, or things, often based on minimal information or single negative experiences. It's like getting food poisoning from a particular cuisine and then avoiding it entirely for years. What makes this mental model particularly powerful is how quickly these aversions form and how resistant they are to change, even in the face of contradicting evidence. A compelling historical example of this tendency occurred during the 1985 launch of New Coke. When CocaCola changed their classic formula, consumers didn't just dislike the new taste. They developed an intense hatred for it. People stockpiled old Coke, formed protest groups, and some even claimed the company had betrayed American values. What's fascinating is that in blind taste tests, many people actually preferred the new formula. However, the mere fact that their familiar product had been changed triggered such a strong negative reaction that Coca-Cola had to reintroduce the original formula just 79 days later as Coca-Cola Classic. In the modern business world, Beyond Meat provides an interesting example of confronting and working to overcome widespread tendency to disliking. When they first introduced plant-based meat alternatives, they faced intense skepticism and negative reactions from traditional meat consumers who immediately dismissed their products without trying them. Rather than accepting this automatic dislike, they focused on placing their products in the meat section rather than vegetarian sections, offered extensive free samples, and emphasized the familiar taste and texture rather than the vegetarian aspect. This strategic approach helped them overcome initial negative biases and become a mainstream option, showing how understanding and actively working to counter the tendency to disliking can lead to successful market acceptance. So, how can we apply our understanding of the tendency to disliking in our daily lives? First, practice the second chance rule. When you notice an immediate dislike forming, consciously give the subject another opportunity under different circumstances. If you disliked someone in a group setting, try interacting with them one-on-one. It's like tasting a food prepared differently before deciding you don't like it at all. Second, maintain a negative bias journal. When you feel strong dislike towards something, write down the specific reasons why. Often, you'll find that your negative feelings stem from one bad experience or limited information. This awareness can help you separate valid concerns from irrational aversions. It's like being your own bias detective. Third, use the flip perspective technique. When you find yourself disliking something, imagine explaining to someone else why they should dislike it too. This exercise often reveals how subjective or poorly founded our negative opinions can be. It's like trying to sell someone else on your dislikes. The process often exposes the weakness in our reasoning. In conclusion, understanding our tendency to disliking helps us make more balanced decisions and build better relationships. By recognizing how quickly and intensely negative biases can form, we can work to ensure our dislikes are based on substantial evidence rather than isolated incidents or emotional reactions. In a world where snap judgments are common, this mental model serves as a crucial reminder to examine our negative reactions more carefully. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your judgments be fair, your mind be open, and your awareness of negative bias be strong. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the podcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.